Prosperity isn't what you see in your bank account. And you all know I say that all the time. But today we're going to talk about what's your nervous system feel like when you wake up in the morning. I feel like she just punched me in the gut. Y'all ready to get into this? Let's go.
Here we go! Nicole Johnson, Nicole Johnson, Nicole Johnson, let's go!
And welcome to another episode of Prosperity Conversations. I am your host, the Nicole Johnson, and today's guest invites us to redefine success beyond metrics and milestones. Come on now, if that's not alignment with what we've been talking about since we started this series, I don't know what is. And instead of looking at how success actually feels, we're going to talk about how it feels in our bodies and in our lives. Joining me today is Emily Aarons, a business alignment coach and the creator of the Energetic Advantage. Y'all catch that? Emily helps high achieving leaders regulate their nervous system, change clear energetic blocks, and build businesses that feel good on the inside as they look on the outside. We're not faking it till you make it, you guys. You guys know we don't do faking facade. I want you guys to clap it up and welcome Emily to the stage. Hey, Emily.
Hey, Nicole, thank you for the warm welcome.
You are so welcome. I'm glad to have you because this series has been about finding speakers who align with the mission of what we're trying to do. But I'm very curious to hear about this nervous system. We're going to get into that in just a minute. But today, right now, we're going to start with where we start with every guest. What does prosperity mean to you?
Nicole, if you had asked me this a few years ago, I would have focused solely on the dollars coming in. I would have focused on how much we have in our bank account, how much launches are, like how many figure business I own. And through some a humbling process of burning out, it helped me to redefine what success really meant, what prosperity really was for me. And it used to be the dollars coming in and, these sort of, false gods that I was praying to. And it's really transformed to quiet, slow mornings with my family, walks out in nature, time that I'm actually enjoying myself, having fun and feeling fulfilled, and even just presence. And I feel like the times where I was so busy hustling and my focus was on the money, I lost all those other things. I lost myself and I really felt out of alignment. And it took some time. And like I said, it was a very humbling process. If anybody's ever been burnt out, I'm talking to you.
You are. You talking to me. You don't have to yell at me like that. Come on, Emily. But yes. And Emily, how do you bounce back from that burnout? Because I'm sure there are a lot of business owners, there are a lot of moms, there are a lot of dads, children who take care of someone else, whether they're, a aging parent, a child with an illness, and all those things and roles are important. But if you yourself, as they say on the airplane, put your own mask on first. Yeah. But if we get to that point of burnout, what was the process of recovering from that very humbling experience?
I would say this was years in the making. And to sort of summarize, my personal process was finding what made me happy, simply. And sometimes that was having some quiet moments. I can take a walk and sort of recalibrate. Sometimes it was taking supplements that supported my cortisol and my adrenals, because I was going through such high stress periods that physiologically I was just fried and my hormones were out of whack. So I needed that kind of
Wow, Emily, get out my household, baby. Get all out my household.
She's like, don't just call me out like that. And you know, other processes that like I didn't even expect. So, you know, I had a friend who said, you want to take this finger knitting class and make these cozy blankets? And I was like, I just started instantly laughing. I'm like, I think that's a yes, because I immediately started laughing. And I think that would be just a great use of my time and energy to make something completely useless, not totally useless because we can be cozy under it, but it's not something that is producing money and that I can think of in terms of a business. And I even learned how to make sourdough bread. So like I've gone in all different directions. So what's right for me might not be the right thing for our listeners. But I
Right.
think at the root of it all, it's what do I want to do with my time? It's going to make me feel happy. How do I find joy? And I was seeking out those things and doing more of them.
I love that. I love that because you know all of us are different. I like the idea of sometimes just getting outside. I work in an office, and sometimes you know there's arthritis and set up in my knees, and he's not very friendly. I can't even get him to pay rent while he down here, but he makes so much, causes so much pain. But the office is so cold during the summer months. I say I'm going outside to thaw out.
Yes.
And the first time I started doing it kind of on a consistent basis, I didn't realize how refreshing it was. It wasn't just about getting outside in the heat. It was it's almost like I shedded something while I was there.
Yes.
And so I understand that, but it's so you guys who are listening, it's not about the what, it's the fact that you do it. The what is the finding what that is, because sometimes you know, see that candle burning back there. Sometimes it's just sitting in a room and letting the aroma fill your nostrils. I remember my candle days, I would tell people today's scent is grappleberry. So it smells like a bucket of Kool-Aid. It's plenty of fun. But then some days there was the chamomile. I needed to be more relaxed and kind of focused. And then it was I had the other one that was more energetic, more reviving. So finding what those things are, you know, for some people, they might be adult coloring books. I never thought an adult coloring book was a thing.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, Emily, you got adult coloring books over there?
I don't. I have children's coloring books that I make that I use myself, but I have sent them as client gifts that are very snarky or have like swear words in them that are just so stupid. You know, you can't help but laugh at them while you're
Can't
doing
help
it.
but laugh. Yes, I love it. And so now that you have found that, you found that process, let's talk a little bit about what you do. And let me go back because I need to make sure I am saying this correctly. Um, the nervous system. I never, you know, that I've been hearing a lot about that and how things that we do impact our nervous system, and it can be it negatively impacts that. So talk about that a little bit.
So I have been classically trained as an energy healer, and our energy bodies and our physical body, as our physiology, are intertwined. They are literally intertwined together. So what happens to us in our day to day isn't just weighing on our brains, in our heads, when we're overthinking and worrying and, you know, all this stuff that's kind of spinning around while we're driving or taking the shower. It is also processing throughout our bodies. And so there are places where that energy can get stuck and we can't flow, we can't think, we can't move forward. And it presents itself in different ways. So when I'm working with founders and leaders, it can present itself in a number of ways. If their energy and their nervous system is fried, for example, like from burning out, like we were just talking about, it can be really difficult to make clear-headed decisions. It can be really difficult to heal internally when we have stress our nervous system is kind of at its max capacity. If you had a glass and it was full, what happens? It starts to overflow. And so when we get to that tipping point, our nervous system has this allostatic load. It can only handle so much. Your environment, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, you are at your max. And you have those days where just like one thing can just set you right over the edge, where either you lose your mind and like freak out, or you maybe come down with a cold suddenly, or your back goes out, or whatever the physical thing, the symptom presents itself. When our nervous system is at its max, it's going to show up in our system in all different ways.
I love that, because I've been telling people about nervous energy. Like when I'm preparing for, I delivered a keynote a few weeks back, and leading up to it, the closer we got to the day, the more and more nervous I became. And then I had to stop and do what I normally, okay, let's take a moment. Let's assess what this is. Right now, let's harness that energy and how I use it to make me stay on point. It makes me stay sharp and focused.
Yes.
And so it does take time to understand and listen to our body, but our body has all kinds of conversations with us. When that headache comes, it means something. When your stomach isn't feeling right, it means something. And women especially, I'm not denying that men don't do this. They are probably bigger at it than we are. It's just that we show it more. When something is ailing us, we make it a point to keep pushing through. I'll take care of mama. I'll take care of daddy. I'll take care of spouse. I'll take care of kids. I'll take care of everybody. And then whatever's left over, if I have the chance and the energy. And usually when we have the chance, we don't have the energy. When we have the energy, we don't have the chance. Yeah. And so it kind of, we end up going only because it becomes medically necessary.
You're right.
So I love that. Go ahead.
You're right. And when you put yourself last, you are putting everyone's needs. So instead of that, put your oxygen mask on first, it's kind of like taking that cup and we're pouring everything out. So maybe there's a drop left, but and that's what, we've been taught societally. This been passed down generationally. If you put yourself first, they'll say, well, you're selfish.
Yes.
And there's these negative connotations like, well, must be nice for that person, must be nice for you. But truly, if we are filling our cup, imagine that cup like a teacup on a saucer. If we're filling up our cup and we are full, we feel good, we're having fun, we're doing the things that we love, and there's this excess, this overflow that comes down onto the saucer. That's what we give to others from. And so then we get rid of the resentment and the hostility and the aggravation and the frustration of taking care of everybody else. Oh, sure. Just what do you need? Another ride? What do you need? Something. Okay. Well, when is it going to be my turn? Because then we get rid of that resentment, because if I'm good, I'm taken care of, I'm having alone time, I'm getting self-care, I'm having time with my friends, I'm doing the things that I love. I'm just a happy kind of person to be around. So I'm happy to give more from that place.
Yes. I love that. And do you guys see how bubbly she is? Like, do you see that? Do you feel that? I can feel that. And imagine being in that mindset and that space more often than that survival mode. Survival mode is heavy. And sometimes we don't even know or realize that we're in survival mode. So, Emily, let's just imagine one of our listeners or some of our listeners are now starting to say, I think that's me. I think I am in survival mode, but I don't know how to do anything differently. What would you say to them for them to take that next step?
Well, first of all, I see you and I am you. I know what survival mode looks and feels like. I've been there. And I think the hardest thing to do is to add anything else onto your plate, because you're at this state and some people might be experiencing trauma. They're so overwhelmed in survival mode that their nervous system, their body, their mind, like they can't take another thing on the to-do list. So instead of giving you things to do, I would say, let's look at the ways that you can really protect your time and your energy so that you can start setting boundaries and set better expectations for the like yourself and the people who are in your life. So instead of saying, let's add in more things for you to do and manage, how about let's look at what's a hell yes in your body and a hell no? Because there are things that we are doing out of obligation or commitment or other people's expectations of us or wanting to be people pleasers. Not speaking for anybody but myself here, but I I think if we're feeling called out, we're feeling called out, which is it's time to start saying yes and no and mean it. So if, for example, this is the holiday season and my sister-in-law recently said, what kind of gifts are you going to be giving to your in-laws this year? And I said, I stopped doing gift exchanges years ago. I prefer just to spend quality time together and not do this whole, like, you spend money on me and my kids and all that stuff.
Right.
And she's like, wow, I think I gotta do that. I said, yeah, I mean, it makes my holiday season more enjoyable. I don't have the expectations on me and I get to do the things that I really like. So part of this is looking at your day, and this might take a little time and a little bit of practice because you're so used to overgiving of yourself and to other people that maybe just put together a list of things that drive you up the wall that for sure don't feel good. And make that list, and maybe there's one or two things that you can delegate to somebody else. So I don't know what it is for you. Maybe it's going grocery shopping. I know neighbors that they hate grocery shopping, and so they delegate that to people at Instacart. Somebody's getting a job and they don't have to go.
Listen, Instacart is my friend. I love a good Instacart. And when they show up and everything's already up, thank you. I think one of the best features that Instacart and Walmart delivery could have added was they show you this saves you an hour.
Yes.
And then they keep a running tab how often you use it, because it's not just they're counting that hour in the store.
Oh yeah.
They're not counting the 15 minutes to get there and the 15 minutes to get back, the time it takes to get the groceries in, especially if you're by yourself, and the aggravation. My cousin called me one time. It was like 4:00 in the morning. And I'm like, what's wrong? Oh, nothing. I'm at the grocery store. She said that's when Walmart was 24 hours. She was like, Nikki, you would be surprised at how quiet. Ain't nobody here but the workers.
Yeah.
And they're not in my way. So I don't have any running children. I don't have any parents screaming. So I said, let me try it. And what usually is an hour and a half turned into 30 minutes.
Wow.
I said, well, I'm not a 4:00er, but I think a 6:00 on a Saturday morning to work.
That's reasonable.
So, we have to find that thing that makes life more convenient, right? So I love that. And I love the holiday. See, when I work with women and their money, the biggest thing going into this season is I tell them, listen, please don't overspend. You know that toy is going to be broken the day after Christmas, right? And by the new year, they won't be able to, some of them toys they won't be able to find.
Oh yeah.
Okay. They won't be able to find by Easter.
Forget it.
You can forget it. Okay. So we put so much stress on mind you, the supermarkets, the department stores, and the big chains, they're hoping that you do.
Yeah.
Okay. So I say, if you must give a gift, how about you all pull names and you buy one gift instead of trying to buy a gift for everybody? But definitely do what works for you, right? So my family likes to do these great big Christmas dinners or Thanksgiving dinners. And so I was just with my other side of my family, and we were all in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And by the time Thanksgiving dinner was served, I didn't want to talk to nobody. I didn't want to eat. I didn't want to be left alone, because as bad as my back was hurt, my feet was hurt, because we have been cooking for hours.
Yeah.
So next year we going out.
Yeah. And you're overstimulated. You're like, I just can't, people. I need to be in a dark place by myself under my
Listen,
comforter.
Emily, I don't like the people too much.
Yeah.
You know, I'm
I
not
do now.
people today. I don't want to people today. You know, and I think I don't know if it's that comes with age. I'm on the other side of 50. Don't ask y'all. Don't quit trying to figure out how on the other side of 50. Ain't none of your business. Focus, all right? Focus. But as I've gotten older, some things I'm like. I had a friend. She called me last night. It was about. She's in California, so it's for her. It was like 8:30. It was 10:30 for me, and she said, Mama said such and such about me, and Nicole, that's not true. I said, well, why you worried about it? She said, just like that. Yes, ma'am. Mama said it. If she didn't say it to you, you don't have a reason to address it with her. If she wanted you to know what she meant, what she felt, she would have told you. But why are you worried about what she said when it's not right? So you could either approach her and discuss it, or you let that mess go right over your head, baby. I'm choosing peace, light a candle, and keep it moving.
That's right.
And so I'm now that I realize that there really is a way to say that this is our nervous system that we're impacting. Now it makes sense. So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I want the listeners to understand that Emily is, let me make sure I get Emily's banner up so you guys can connect with her. Because one of the things that I know we need to do is actually step outside of ourselves and ask for help. Right? That is when you're looking at trying to build a prosperous life, you don't start up here. You have to start at the foundation. And if you don't know how to build that foundation, would you agree, Emily? They need to raise their hand and ask for help.
Oh, for sure. That's seriously, I think we get stuck in the problem and sort of just stay there and fester versus, okay, here's my problem. What are some possible solutions? Even my young children, I'll say, don't come to me with a problem, come to me with a solution. And I think that asking for help is the fastest way to get through. And, I don't tend to use the word I'm stuck. I don't tend to use that kind of verbiage because then I'll think about, well, how would I get unstuck? What would I do today to take action? And that little bit of action does bring so much clarity. So I always ask for help. That is the secret sauce to, I think, most people's success is reaching out and connecting with others.
Absolutely. And here's Emily's Facebook page. You can connect with her over there. I tell a lot of people, the ladies in my community, they laugh at me so much, but I be so serious. I be like, you the problem. I said, but sometimes you don't realize you're also the solution.
Yeah.
It is in you, but sometimes you do need someone to help you guide you on that path.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. And so before we go, what's one thing that you would leave the audience with? What's one tip, one aha for you that you think they need? Give them one good one.
I think for this conversation, it's do more of the things that make you feel happy. And, if you're not sure what that is, because sometimes in life we are so used to the mundane and sort of the mediocrity that we're used to and the day in and day out that we get a little numb to what lights us up and what makes us feel good. So I would make that a mission is to find and seek out the things that make you feel good.
I love that, Emily. And can I just add a little thing to it?
Of course.
Do what makes you feel good and do it without any regret. Don't let anybody make you feel guilty for choosing you. We've got one life to live, right? And we don't get a do-over, at least not in the form that we are in now. Right? If that energy recycles and repurposes itself, I'm not coming back as the same the Nicole Johnson that you see now. So live it to the best. Find what makes you feel. Sometimes it's walking. I hate sand, but I got to walk on the sand to get to the water. I got to walk on that warm. I got to walk on that sand to get that warm, beautiful water. So if that's what makes me feel good, baby, watch me walk. Watch me walk. Well, Emily, I want to thank you so much for being here with us. You are a part of the Prosperity Conversations family now, and I appreciate your message to our audience. And as I always say, prosperity is not something that you chase, it's something that you choose. I am your host, the Nicole Johnson. And until next time, bye. All right.